Okay, artist, it's time to talk about carving. The first thing you need to know is that we have 3 different sizes and shapes of carving tools. This one is our small, almost like a V-shaped cutter. Everything that has the purple end is going to be that small V shape. We have a large V-shaped cutter, indicated by the color orange on the handle. And we have one more, a large wide U. It's not a letter V, it's a large curved cutter, indicated by the color blue. When you're using these supplies, use one at a time. If you're done with this one and you want another one, you just put it back and go to the next container. This cutting tool, this is a blade, this is a handle. As you're working, you may discover that this blade can come out. You do not need to take it out. This blade, I have already put in for you. Snug as a bug. You'll see the shape. Everything on this blade is safe except the tip. Just like a pair of scissors, just like a knife that you would use in the kitchen. The very end is going to be your sharp point. When you're using this tool, your hand should not be right here steadying your work, because you could take this and cut it into your hand by accident. Instead, you want to have your hand away or beside. Make sure that this blade is always going away from you. I don't want to see anyone cutting this direction towards their body, because that means if you slip, you could take this into your body. That's not safe. So we want to make sure we're doing safe carving. So take this blade and you'll go this direction. Before I start carving, I'm going to change my angle so you can see what this looks like. All right, we've changed our view because another part of carving is the angle. When we're carving, we are not digging a hole with a shovel and making our tool go vertical and push down. Instead, you will see, and I'm going to point this to the camera so you can see it pick up. I'm going to lay my tool flat and I'm going to press down gently and push across. Did you see that? It picked up a little bit of that line. If I press it a little more, it's going to make a deeper cut. It's going to remove more of my carving block. But that is how we're going to hold our tool. Look at this side. I'm going to hold this in my hand so you can see the angle. Your tool should be going across instead of down like this. Across. Not digging, across. If I want to make a larger cut, I add more pressure with my finger or my hand as I'm holding the tool. I like to do little cuts at a time. I can rotate. Remember, be cutting away from yourself. That blade should never be pointing at you. Keep your fingers behind your tool. There we go. You can see where that line is carved. You don't need to go any further down into your printing block than that. Here we go. I'm going to do the next line. And we will continue. All right, students, I have just about finished carving the lines out of my design, but these are a little bit smaller, so I'm going to switch my tool. I'm using the large V-shaped cutter, so now I'm going to switch to the small V-shaped cutter. You can really decide how you want to do your work. Oh, I'm glad that happened. I'm going to show you why. Remember, the only unsafe part or sharp end of this tool is the very tip. This is a handle back here that allows you to pinch it, place it back into your holder. If that happens, place it back in, and then just keep holding it horizontally instead of vertically. All right, here we go. Remember, hold it flat. You'll see my hand pick up just a little bit at an angle. That's just so I can press down into my carving block, but not a lot. And I'm going to keep going. I'm using the smaller tool because I have a smaller space. Okay, I've switched out my colors. I'm now using blue color. This is the large letter U. You can see that by the shape of this tool. And I'm going to go in and I actually am going to remove some of this shape because I want to add some variety. So sometimes when you create a shape in your printing block, sorry about that, I zoomed down. When you create a shape in your printing block, you can choose to carve only the outline, or you can choose to carve the inside as well. Remember, whatever you carve away, you can't put back. So really think through your design. I'm gonna get this edge right. And you can see where those pieces are being removed. I'm still carving away from my body and being safe. As I sit here, I'm thinking about my design. More and more, this shape, when I made it, reminded me of a flower. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the smallest size carver, and I'm going to create a little seed design just for fun to make it look even more like a flower. Tiny little pieces. And when we come back, I'll have this done and we will start printmaking, which means adding ink and using your printing block like a stamp. I'll see you soon.